One of the first things to consider when you are thinking about the security of your Linux system are the file permissions. These file permissions determine who has access to what files and what directories on your system. Okay? So, the Linux system makes it really easy to handle these by means of setting 3 permissions for each group on each file and each directory. Let me show you what I mean. We have on the far left, here, some permissions, and that's what we're going to consider today. Before we look at it, let me just describe what else is happening on this whole screen. Might be relevant. On the far right, where you have blue desktop and blue documents and white file 1, all these things written here, these are the names of the files. Ignore the coloring here on different flavors of or different derivatives of Ubuntu. They may look different on Mint or Elementary OS. You are in danger of having different colors there. But if you want to know what is a directory, you look here. D means directory. Dash means file. So wherever you see a D, it's a directory. Wherever you see a dash, it's a file, a regular file. Okay? Sometimes you would see a B. That would be a block special file. Sometimes you would see a C, and that would be a character special file. Okay? So this here is a list of the file and directories. Right next to it, to the left, is the date on which that file or directory was created. Date and time goes down to the minute when that file and directory was created. Right next to it, to the left of that, is the size of that directory or that file. Okay, so this is 4 kilobytes. This is 0. Right? This is the group to which that directory belongs, the group to which that file belongs. This is the owner of the file, the user. This, right next to it, is the number of links to that file, and then we are back here to the permissions on the files. Okay, so this is what we're focusing on right now. Let's get into it. Read, write, and execute are the permissions for every file. Let me clear this and look at just one file so that we are so that we are clear on what it looks like. There are 3 permissions. They are read, which is symbolized by the letter R. Write, which is symbolized by the letter W, and execute, which is symbolized by the letter X. Okay? So you count 10 dashes here. The first one is the type of file it is, and the rest are the permissions on that file. Let's look at the permissions on this file called train hard. RWX. Read, write, and execute. In this case, it is a read, write, and dash. This means that the user, the owner of the file, this guy, has read permissions on the file, write permissions on the file, and no other permission on that file. He does not have the execute permission on that file. The group to which that file belongs has a read, a write, and no other permission, does not have the execute permission on that file. That's this group, right? Others meaning everyone else, every other user that does not belong to the group and is not the owner of the file, has these permissions on the file, which is in this case just a read. He can read, others can read the file, but they cannot write to the file, and neither can they executes the file. Okay? So those are the permissions in a nutshell. Let's take a few questions before we continue.